How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There is an insane amount of buying happening and an insane amount of money on the sidelines in crypto. And I think a lot of people don't understand how crazy this is. Let's say the SEC never approves a spot ETF, which I think they will. But yesterday we saw that they're actually delaying it for now, delaying their decision. And I think that has some people down, thinking maybe the price will dump, but the supply is dwindling. I want to talk about that, talk about some crazy new stats, how many people are sitting on the sidelines, how much money's on the sidelines, waiting to get into the market, how many countries are working with crypto already. It's nuts. So if you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see future videos just like this one. We're in the backyard here today. You guys liked when I did a video in my car recently. Maybe I'll do a couple more like this out and about, but I thought this might be fun. There are links down there too in case you want to try leverage trading, which is not right for everyone. Unless you're an experienced trader, probably shouldn't do it, but there's a link to Margex, which is a fantastic platform. I really like it. There's no KYC, which is great on one hand, and then for some people, they might want something that is KYC'd. But definitely check that out underneath the video. There are discount codes there to treasure too. And if you want to see what I'm buying and selling, you can check out the Patreon. Now, let's get into the content, right? So, Bitcoin, the ETF decision got delayed a little bit. Some people were hoping it would happen this week, taking some long positions. We could see some liquidations, right? But overall, I think a lot of people don't still fully understand the insanity of what's coming. There is a record amount of money in money markets. We're talking, I believe I just read it was about $6 trillion. And this is money that wants to get in the market. This is money, whether it's large institutions, whether it is family offices, hedge funds, they can't afford to be in money markets when rates start to fall, right? I mean, think about that. Let's say you have $10 billion and you're getting 5% yield on it right now, but we start to go down, maybe it's 4%, 3%, your savings account, your treasury bonds, and it's not risk-free, right? You still have the risk of the US defaulting, which is always a small risk. I mean, we see credit rating agencies actually downgrade US debt recently and give warnings on that. Like Microsoft has a better credit rating than the US government. So that money can't stay in treasuries forever. It's a record amount. It's going to be flooding into the market. Now, where's it going to be flooding to? Obviously, industries that are growing quickly, high risk, high alpha investments, the only scarce asset on earth, truly scarce, Bitcoin, it's going to flow in there. Now, already though, we're seeing a supply shock. We've seen for months, you can look at articles, for months, we've seen retail buying more Bitcoin than miners are selling. Now, the crazy thing about that is miners can stop selling. Like they can just hodl when they think Bitcoin's price is going to go up, and they do that often. And then retail buyers are just buying off of the exchanges. We already see that, right? We see exchange supplies go down. We continuously see less and less Bitcoin on the market. And that's with today's current issue rate. That's without institutions. So we have 900 Bitcoin hitting the market a day being swallowed up. In 6 months, we have half that. So that means another 450 Bitcoin are going to be swallowed up every single day from the exchanges, which might not sound like much. But remember, this is just retail. This is without a ton of new people coming into the market too. I mean, retail, it's been basically the same group of people that have been buying for the last couple of years and 5 years, 10 years. It's all the same people. So when we get the next group of people coming in, they're going to swallow up Bitcoin. They're going to buy more. And every cycle, we have more people coming in. It's bigger and bigger, more wallets being added every single cycle. So that's going to obviously send up the price. We also have institutions coming in, right? So we already don't have enough Bitcoin right now, and institutions can't even buy, right? They're like, I don't know, 5, 10 major companies that have announced buying Bitcoin in the last couple months, and they're buying up 25, 50 million at a time, $50 million worth of Bitcoin, and this is just like one announcement. I mean, Tether itself is, it's a big company when you consider it for crypto. They have 90 billion in assets under management, but when you compare them to like banks, there are tons of banks that have 90 million in assets under management. There are tons of companies that have billions of dollars to invest, right? So consider that. Once institutions can get in, once companies start using it as a hedge, where's the supply coming from? What are they going to do? Well, they have billions of dollars. They're going to send up the price, and they're just going to swallow up as much Bitcoin as they can. Again, it's the only scarce asset on earth. So it's just kind of interesting to think about that. Play the long game. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin's at 36 or 37, 38. It's fun, right? It's fun. But this is small. This is so small. The time span is so small. You've got to look 2 years down the line. What is Bitcoin going to do when there's less new Bitcoin than ever? We've seen 94%. I know some people give me a hard time because I rehash some of the same stats, but we've seen 93% of the supply come to the market in the last 14 years, and the price has 30,000x'd. I mean, think about that. That's nuts. Imagine the next 30 years where another 6% maybe hits the market. So instead of 93%, we have 6% hit the market. So 1/15 the amount of Bitcoin that we've seen over the last 15 years is going to hit the market. We're going to see the largest players ever buy Bitcoin. Billions of dollars flowing in. Retail is going to be buying. New people are coming in to buy Bitcoin. I'm getting people asking me how to buy Bitcoin. And still, it's not the easiest thing in the world. For someone that's not very techie, you have to go buy GBTC or you have to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase or something like that. And sometimes they take a while to verify you. And then you have to worry about wallets and stuff like that. You have to worry about fees. It's going to be, I'm not saying it's good necessarily for Bitcoin because it's kind of the opposite of what Bitcoin's trying to be for institutions to come in. At least that's what some people think. That's the opposite. It's kind of goes against the whole point of Bitcoin to be your own bank. But for some people, they don't care, right? They want a nice return. And that will push up the price. So when you can go to your bank and you can buy some shares, or, your ETF guy, your account manager at Raymond James calls you up and says, hey, we should probably do a 1% allocation towards Bitcoin. I can do that in 2 minutes. I can just hit buy GBTC or buy BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. That's going to be so easy. Everyone's going to want to do it then. I mean, not everyone, right? But people that just kind of have FU money, they don't really care. They just want to buy something that's kind of cool, that has some alpha. They're gonna go buy $1 million worth. And that comes straight off the supply. That goes right to your wallet, or it spikes up your wallet. And this is one of the only assets that we, as retail investors, have actually been able to get in before the institutions. I mean, think about it. Every other asset, they invest in early. They spike to a couple $1 billion market cap before they go public, or 40 billion. Think about Coinbase, right? It opened at $400 a share, went up to 500, and then fell to 30 or 40 during the bear market. That's what big money gets to do almost all the time. They get a buy-in, they get a dump on you, and then they move on to the next investment. They pump it up the entire time, how great this company is, how much potential there is, and then they go buy the next one. They sell off when they're pumping their bags, when they're talking about it. But crypto, we got in ahead of them. Countries are now trying to get in. There are 30 different countries that are talking with Ripple at this moment about doing something with the CBDC or working with them in some way. So if there are 30 that are working with Ripple, how many do you think have some kind of Bitcoin strategy or are discussing a Bitcoin strategy? I mean, it's kind of nuts when you start thinking about that. Everyone is talking about Bitcoin. I used to work at a bank, a very conservative bank. Like, they did not make wild investments at all. They were very careful with who they even worked with. So they were even talking about cryptocurrency 2 or 3 years ago. Like, what are they going to do? A lot of companies are building functionality and just waiting for Bitcoin to go back up before they unveil what they're going to do. So keep on the right track. Think long term. Don't think the next 2 days. Think the next 2 years, 10 years, 20 years. Because this will be something that you can pass down to your kids. Now, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Should I do more videos out here? Hopefully this sounds okay. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.